Hello and welcome to Live with Chris, an interview podcast where we can learn and grow together. I am your host, Chris Oviedo, and I want to thank you for joining me today. And on the show, we're focusing on Jumpstart, a partnership between HCC and our county public school system that allows students to dually enroll in college courses at HCC. My guests today are HEC's Assistant Director of Admissions and Outreach, Rebecca Morrow, who has been with HEC and actively working with the Jumpstart program for 5 years, and Howard County Public School System's resource teacher for dual enrollment, Megan Gitterman. She's a career instructor who's focused on empowering high school students access college credits while also equipping teachers and the right leadership skills to support these students. Rebecca and Megan, thank you so much for joining me today. It is a pleasure to have you both here.
Thanks so much for having
Thank you
us.
so much for
We're excited to
having
be
us.
here.
So, I want to start a conversation understanding and exploring the concept of dual enrollment. Megan, I want to start with you. I want to hear from the public school system on why it makes sense to offer this option of dual enrollment to our young people here in Howard County.
So, thanks for the question, Chris. I think there's really three main things that can come out of this. It offers HCPSS the opportunity to sort of expand our programming and engage more students in more diverse things. I also think it allows our students to really start to test out those college readiness skills in sort of that authentic college experience, but while still in the safety net that is our K through 12 institution. And then sort of that last thing is that cost effectiveness for families. So we as a K through 12 institution are really fortunate to have amazing programming in at the high school level. We have great course options. We have amazing curriculum. We have a lot for our students, but I think by expanding to sort of a dual enrollment model, we're allowing students access to all that HCC has as well, in addition to what we can offer them. And I've seen a lot of students just get re-engaged and re-energized in their education because they do have access to things outside of just what our catalog has to offer. So that's sort of that first piece is that engagement in a broader array of coursework. I also think it's a really nice way for students to kind of test out their college readiness in a space that is still supported fully by HCPSS, right? So we have students who are learning amazing content in the classroom through HCC, but they're learning important skills like the registration process, like self-advocacy in a college course, what that looks like, how to attend things like office hours, right? It's a space for students to sort of get used to that process and figure themselves out as learners while they're still kind of supported by us fully. And then that third piece, which is like obviously the one that gets talked about the most, is sort of that cost effectiveness. College is expensive, right? And the economy's hard. The job market is hard out there. Um, we have students who through our program can earn all the way up to an associate's degree for little to no cost. And that has been sort of a life changer for a lot of our students. We have students who receive free or reduced meals getting an associate's degree for free. And I think that can be a game changer for a lot of families. I know personally, my own mom is very proud of what I do because she said, this would have been a life changer for our personal family. So I think that is an amazing option. And I'm super glad to be in a place like Howard County where we have access to such an amazing both K through 12 institution, but also our community college is really second to none. So we're really fortunate.
You know, that personal connection you just talked about, and how we as adults look back and look at the opportunities that we have right now. I know as a mom of I guess my both my kids are still considered teenagers, although my daughter is approaching the age where she will she's already an adult for all the legal purposes, but she's still in those last teen years in her life. Um, but it's interesting because I, there's, I think, this fine line of allowing our children to be children and teenagers and then pushing, right, for to take advantage of all of those opportunities because there is a lot. So I heard so many things that you just said that have me thinking about, that reinvigoration, that you said something about like you see the spark again on the students who actually go through the dual enrollment. And the cost benefit, I think, is the one that we as adults understand and focus on the most. But I'd love to talk a little more, if you don't mind, just expand a little more on that, on what you have seen. Um, because I want to venture to say that dual enrollment is not necessarily for every student in Howard County. However, you're saying those who do the dual enrollment program, there's almost like this reignite of curiosity and rediscovering of the beauty of learning. Talk to us a little more about what you're seeing for those kids who dual enrollment has been successful for and who have re-engaged with education because of the opportunities dual enrollment brings to them.
Yeah, so it ranges, right? We have students who go to HCC as really full-time students while they're still in high school and graduate with an associate's. They get in and they realize it's absolutely for them and they love it and they want to take more, more, and more, and more. We also have students who are more tentative and are a little bit nervous about college. They don't necessarily all think college is for them. And some of them don't even think high school is for them. And so I have witnessed, and I know Rebecca can probably speak to this as well. Students get really excited. I just worked with a student the other day who said, I'm a college student now. Like, she really didn't think that she would ever be one, but she's taking one class at HCC and is really proud of that. We also have students who are able to sort of reinvent themselves through HCC, and break away from, high school is hard. It's not easy for every student. I loved high school, but my brother did not, right? He couldn't stand it. And I think some of our students who are able to sort of venture out and access coursework that's a little maybe different and access a college campus and students that they haven't grown up with their whole lives. I've seen students really be able to find out who they are in a way that they might not be able to in their home high school. We want to believe that our home high schools are a great fit for all students, but nothing's a perfect fit for all students. So the students that do really well in the Jumpstart program are the ones that are excited and motivated and that want it. We can usually find something pretty special for them to engage in, whether it's one class at their home high school, whether it's a whole, full-time set of classes on campus, or sort of anything in between.
Thank you for opening that those diverse paths and for reminding us that everybody has their own journey and that, as a student, maybe you're thinking high school's not for me, I don't like school. And I know that I've heard that from many students. Maybe dual enrollment is that path that will help you discover what you like, who you are, what you want to be, and be that right path for your education. Maybe you are the student who loves high school and you don't want to add anything else into that, and that's okay. That's the message. One of the messages that I want to bring today is that um, it's okay to have our own journeys in education. It's okay to have our own pathways. Jumpstart is an opportunity. Jumpstart is a path that you can take, that your family can take if you feel that it is right for you. So, thank you for elevating that message, Megan. I think it's important for all of us to remember that there's all of these opportunities, there's all of these different ways to reach our goals, and Jumpstart is just one of them. Thank you for just normalizing that conversation and letting us know and refreshing us in that sense of it's an opportunity. It's okay to come and test it. If it works out for you, that's awesome. If it doesn't work out for you, It's okay as well. Rebecca, talk to us about the college perspective. Why does this partnership make sense, for the college and for the students to be part of this just amazing opportunity to expand, as Megan said so well, even your own knowledge of yourself and what you want to do with your career and with your professional life in the future?
Yeah. So from the student perspective, Jumpstart is a great opportunity for so many reasons. I know Megan already touched on a lot of them, but one that I'd like to bring up is the career exploration piece of it. From the college perspective, a lot of students, including myself, went to college or go to college and they have no idea what they would like to do with their lives. They're just kind of there trying to figure it out. But you're able to do that early on, with the cost savings piece attached to it, right? So you're able to maybe take that business management course that you were kind of afraid to take or you weren't sure what it would lead to, and do it very cost effectively, and really explore, maybe that is what you want to do, maybe it's not what you want to do, but you're able to do that right then and there through Jumpstart. Along with the college perspective, though, a lot of students who do think college is for them are maybe still a little afraid to really immerse themselves on that college environment, that college campus, really get involved on campus. And this allows them to do that in a way that is safe, by coming onto campus, maybe getting up into a club, maybe exploring specific supports on campus that may interest you. So really getting that extra support while you're here, but also being able to dive into that college atmosphere. It's important, and it's something that isn't always talked about, that transition to college, but it is really vital that students get that, early on, so they feel comfortable going into that college atmosphere. The partnership is obviously thriving in the fact that we've created a great program that students are interested in, they're excited about. I think that the main part of the partnership, you could say, that really helps support the students is the fact that our Office of Dual Enrollment at HCPSS and our Jumpstart team here at HCC are able to work together to provide opportunities to make sure that the students are successful. Again, Megan touched a little bit on this, but I'll elaborate a little more. We have so many support sessions for students that really help them feel comfortable from beginning to end. So a student is interested in Jumpstart, they come in to one of our collaborative hours, and we're able to help them get applied. Come back next week. We can help you figure out your portal. Come back a week later and we can help you figure out how to register. And then once you're a student, if you're feeling lost, we have support sessions that HCPSS comes to our campus and they see a familiar face. They're able to get connected with the supports that they need. I just really think our partnership really benefits the students in that way. We're really able to provide everything they need to move forward and feel safe while moving forward.
How powerful it is for me to hear both of you ladies speak about equity in action, because this is to me what Jumpstart is really creating. It's equity in action. It's really changing the narrative, because now our youth, now our families can know and should have this in their mind that college is an option. College is available. You can go to college. Your kids can go to college. If you are young and you are dreaming of a career, Jumpstart is that opportunity that you can see yourself in college. I know that that has been a question. For I'm Latina, and I know that in my country and the mindset that I bring, college wasn't always an option. It wasn't a given. It wasn't something that was going to happen, right? It was only for some who could afford it and have access to it. And Jumpstart, it's here to actually get rid of that barrier and tell everybody, college is for you. You can be a college student while still being on high school. So, what a powerful message and what a powerful tool for equity we have here in our county to really allow our youth to dream big and see themselves going, as far as they want. I mean, they say reach for the stars, but, maybe your star is the White House. Maybe your star is your own company. Maybe your star is, I don't know, being in the sports. Like, there's a doctor, a lawyer, so many options for you, and Jumpstart can be that trampoline that helps you get to the next step. Megan, you touched about having classes at at the Howard County Public School System, but still be part of the Jumpstart Dual Enrollment Program. So talk to us about what it feels and what it looks like. Like what is that part when students are taking their classes through HCPSS? What does that feel and look like? How does that work?
So our HCPSS based coursework, they're called CC courses, CC in our catalog. So CC stands for college content. Um, we have a more limited offerings than what you could get on campus for a lot of reasons. And each sort of school has a different set of offerings. These courses are taught by faculty, adjunct faculty that's been hired at HCC, vetted through HCC as adjunct faculty. So I like to tell students it's sort of like a satellite HCC campus. It's like HCC at Wild Lake High School, right? I think the biggest difference is it is a little bit more of a high school setting. So it's really embedding the college content, curriculum, and expectations in that more familiar sort of 5 day per week, 50-minute a day model that our students are used to. It's a great option for students, especially those who are getting started in the program and are maybe a little tentative. It's a familiar face, right? One of our teachers, Miss Johnston, just won Teacher of the Year and at Longreach, and she teaches English 121, which we call English 11CC, but she embeds that in to the school day at Longreach. I forget what periods she has it, but it's a typical high school setting. She is a much loved staff member over there. So, for a Longreach student to know, hey, I know Miss Johnston. She's here. She's been here. She's a known quantity. It's a little bit more of a safe space, I think, for our students to sort of get started in that college sort of pathway or trajectory. They know the faces, they know the model, they're used to the sort of bell to bell every day for the whole school year model. And then within that, they get that college content embedded. They get those major assignments that the college is also assigning. Our CC math courses are using the same online materials that the courses on campus are using. They're just using it in a bit of a different setting. And so I think that has provided a lot of access to students who would maybe be a little scared to go on campus, who are maybe nervous about the semester schedule or nervous about instructors that they don't know. We know we are finding more and more that just a familiar face and a prior relationship is really helpful to our more tentative students. And courses like that English 121 or the math courses that we offer or the business management courses that we offer can really set up a student to be confident that they can handle the content and the coursework, so that then that next sort of barrier of, okay, I can do the content. Now maybe I can do it on campus, right? Maybe I can do it in a semester. Maybe I can do it with an instructor that I've never met, that I don't know, that I don't see every day walking the halls of my high school. So we found that they're real confidence builders. They're real sort of gate openers for students because it does feel more familiar in setting. And then I had a student the other day who was speaking to classmates at Oakland Mills, and he said, I just didn't realize how good I would be at the college assignments. And that gave him the confidence that, hey, if I can do college assignments, I can go to a college campus and do them. I'm doing them, right? And so I think that's sort of the beauty of those courses. And we've been expanding every year, and we look to hopefully continue that expansion.
That's beautiful. It's almost like hearing them saying, "Look at me adulting," right? I'm in high school and I'm already adulting. Look at me. So I love that. I absolutely love that. Rebecca, talk to us a little bit because I think, Megan has a really strong point of, we offer them in their settings so that they can build that confidence, right? So how does HCC how is HCC creating that safe environment for those who are saying, I want to go and try college. I want to see if how that feels and what that looks like. So, what are we doing here on campus to make sure that they feel welcomed and safe and that they can thrive?
Yeah. So first of all, going off of Megan, I would say that courses in the high school, the building of that confidence is really a beautiful thing to see that I would say I've seen in almost every student that takes a CC class. They really come to campus and feel confident and ready to make that next step of actually coming onto campus after their CC courses. So it's a really great thing to see. As far as how HCC accommodates dual enrolled students on campus and what that looks like, we have those support sessions. We offer, I want to say it's 5 or 6 throughout the semester where HCPSS, again, that friendly, familiar face, comes onto campus and just holds kind of an open office hours of sorts where students can come in and really get connected to the resources they need. Additionally, we HCC are in the high schools. So maybe we have a student that comes to campus one class a day, maybe, and then they're taking more classes at their high school. We're able to catch them there again in the safety of their home, if you will, their home environment. And they can come see us. We're there once a month. And we can help them kind of navigate their journey, answer any questions they have, again, connect them to resources, maybe get them involved on campus, things like that. And then additionally, kind of the opposite, HCPSS has a support person on our campus, which does the same thing. She comes in, she's here every day, and she meets with students who need that extra support to really move forward in their classes. And then lastly, we have Early Alert. So Early Alert is a tool that we use where we are able to track a student's progress. The faculty members use it on our campus. They can raise flags if students maybe aren't showing up for class or maybe struggling with an assignment and need that extra connecting to tutoring or whatever it may be. The instructors can actually flag those students. We in admissions and advising get that information, and we work with HCPSS and the student's counselor and their support person on campus, along with our advisors, to really make sure the student feels supported and is able to move forward. I would say that the Early Alert tool can really be a game changer for a student. We get alerts beginning the second or third week of class that really discusses, are they attending regularly? Are they missing assignments early on? What's going wrong here so we can intervene early and often to make sure the student is successful in their courses. And it's been working out pretty nicely. We actually just got the HCPSS support person on campus last fall. She's been very busy supporting students. But I think that we're able to kind of mix the authentic college experience, which is what you're getting, when you choose to come on campus, with the supports that students need to make sure that they are smoothly going through that transition and they feel supported as they're doing that.
Megan, is dual enrollment for every student? I mean, we just heard, there's all of the support. It is, and we've talked about what a great opportunity it is, what a equalizer it could really be, for our community in the way of access to education. But is it for every student? Should every student really consider doing Jumpstart?
So it's an interesting question because, like I said, I'm not sure that any one educational program is a fit where every student would thrive, right? I know that there are programs that I would definitely not thrive in, but I think the motivated and interested student can find a home in Jumpstart, right? We can find something typically for students. When you look at our program, it is just wild how representative of our population and how our county public school systems our program is. It matches up pretty perfectly. So I think what we're finding when we look at the statistics behind it is that a really wide and diverse group of students can get a really wide and diverse set of needs filled, right? Whether it is just I need to be re-engaged by my coursework, or whether it is I want to be more challenged, or whether it is I am nervous and I don't know that I can withstand the challenge of college and I want to try it out. We're really finding that the Jumpstart program is kind of meeting all of those diverse needs. And so I do think the student that is motivated and willing to work and interested can find something at HCC or through HCPSS that works for them. And that's really a testament, I think, to both institutions, right? HCC's faculty has been amazing with our students. The courses that are offered on campus, there's just so many different options that students can find something that resonates with them. And I think it's also really indicative of our high school CC teachers making things accessible. So yeah, I think that any student who is willing to give it a go and interested and motivated can sort of find something that they're successful in. And I think that willingness and that motivation is the key, right? If a student doesn't want it, it's not going to be successful. But for the most part, we have amazing success rates in our program. I think our students on campus, we were looking at it the other day, like 90% of them get A's, B's, and C's. We like to talk about it's more than just grades, but at the end of the day, grades are a pretty big marker of success, and our students are wildly successful on campus. Even as our numbers grow, we're not finding major dips in the success rate on campus. So, that is something that we're really proud of, that I know Rebecca's team is really proud of, that we're finding that the more and more students that come, the more are realizing that college really can be for them.
That's great. We are it's been a great conversation, and we're really close to 30 minutes. So Rebecca, I do have a couple questions that I think are important. One of them is, can students just choose their own classes, or is there a set track that they need to follow when they decide to enroll in Jumpstart?
Yeah, so a little bit of both. It really, again, there's all different kinds of flavors of Jumpstart. Students can do it in a flexible option, which would be kind of an a la carte situation where you could do maybe one CC class, you could do maybe a class on campus to see if you like it, and really just take a couple classes to get your feet wet in Jumpstart, if you will. But then if you were interested, you could also do a 30 credit or a 60 credit degree option where you are working pretty intently on getting that associate's degree or that certificate by the time you graduate high school. We do have course grids and degree paths to follow for that. And that would really be just meeting with your HCPSS counselor, your HCC advisor, and letting us help you every step of the way, really determining what that track is for you, because we could have course grids all day, but at the end of the day, each student is different. So making sure that the student specifically lines up with the courses that they need to graduate. So there really are all different flavors of Jumpstart.
And then the other question that I know people are probably wondering is, they're probably saying, okay, you guys have said that little to no cost, right? So let's talk about that, the cost of Jumpstart. And I'm going to open it to both of you guys. Rebecca, maybe you can tell us better from the college perspective that cost that may or may not be associated with Jumpstart.
Yeah. So with Maryland Blueprint, and this is an ever evolving legislation right now that we're still learning. But as of now in the fall, courses will be free for students who are college and career ready. And that is not just tuition and fees. That would include textbooks as well, course fees, and really everything that would be involved with moving forward and getting your 30 to 60 credits. So it's definitely going to change, how students are able to get into Jumpstart and what that equity looks like for Jumpstart students. We're able to really help them, reach their goals by this legislation coming out. Megan, do you have anything to add to that?
No, just that, we announced in October that we would retroactively be giving tuition reimbursement, because it went completely free of tuition in the fall. And then moving forward, we're going to be looking at fees and textbooks as well. So when we say low cost, we mean pretty much no cost.
Doesn't get much lower than that. Megan, where can families reach you? Where can they can get more information to access the dual enrollment Jumpstart program?
So the best place to go and to come is our collaborative hours, which we have multiple times a month. Your high school counselors know those dates and have links to it's. You'll get the information straight from Rebecca and I. Were in almost all of those collaborative hours. That's the easiest way for families to tune in, is to say to the counselor, "Hey, I know HCC and HCPSS have collaborative hours. When are they?" The other way is to, we do have email addresses, jumpstart@hcpss.org or jumpstart@howardcc.edu. We'll get you to our inboxes, but those collab hours are just really priceless. You can get pretty much every piece of information that you need through those.
Thank you, ladies, so much for this conversation, for everything that you guys do, for creating pathways to success, and for this collaboration between the school system and the college that is really just leveling the educational gap for our students, allowing our students to dream, to know that it's not just a dream, but it's actually attainable to be in college, to be a college student, something that our students can do while still being in high school if that's what they choose, if that's what works for them. So thank you both so much. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.